as much excitement we're seeing for Ethereum and ETH 2.0 and the DeFi ecosystem on ETH, we're seeing some substantial excitement for Cardano. So would you give me your updated thoughts on Cardano in 2021 and what you would say, how many Cardano ADA do you need to be quote unquote wealthy?
Yeah. So in my opinion, I love Cardano. And so I feel like a lot of times I make this joke that I'm in a love triangle with Ethereum and Cardano, because when Ethereum's doing good, we're talking a lot about Ethereum and the Cardano people hate us. And then when Cardano is doing well, we're talking a lot about Cardano and the Ethereum people hate us. But we can love both, we can believe in a future, you can believe that Google and Yahoo were both going to be, take up market share in search on the internet, right? But of course, most people, Google was better, has a higher market share. A lot of people know that, obviously. But in the decentralized platform space and decentralized Web 3.0, you're not going to just have one player. That's just not going to be the way that it's going to work. So I believe there's room for Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot to some extent. I don't like Polkadot as much as I like the other two by any stretch of the imagination. I also love Solana. I love Elrond. Those are two projects that I really like as well. They're in the smart contract space. But for Cardano specifically, I've said this for a long time, even when Cardano gets super mega bullish and we start looking well, where can it get? I've stuck to my same prediction, which is about somewhere between $8 and $9 for this bull run. And I think we're still going to get there for sure. But the thing is Cardano is a play for 4 years from now. I think we're seeing kind of a mini, not mini, that's not the right word. We're seeing a macro altcoin season, so to speak, when it comes to cryptocurrency in general. The last bull run, obviously Bitcoin was pumping, the institutional money came in, started putting money in Bitcoin. That was kind of the end of the bull market, right? This bull run, the institutional money is in Bitcoin, but now it's starting to flow down to Ethereum. And we're starting to see a company like Me2, MEITU over in Asia, put a bunch of money in Ethereum. We're seeing Ethereum ETFs. We're seeing institutional channels. We're seeing the futures contracts that got released on Ethereum. They went from, I think it was 27 million at the end of Q4 last year to 3 billion at the end of Q1. Insane institutional demand. I think in the next bull run, I think we're going to see that institutional demand start moving to the other coins. So you're going to see Cardano start getting some benefits. Polkadot, Chainlink start getting some of those benefits. And then who knows? I don't know if the institutions will eventually, put money in microcaps like we see in the overall crypto market. But once that institutional money starts flowing into, Cardano and these other projects, that's where the big money is. The retail investors push the blow off top. The institutions are what have made this, and the corporations as well, not just institutions, but obviously MicroStrategy and, all Tesla, right? We saw what Tesla did with a buy. Hopefully we're going to get news of, more buys from corporations over the next few weeks. As these earnings reports come out, I know maybe Walmart, well, that's what a lot of people are saying. I think May 18th is the day that we get that report. But I think what we're seeing is for the next bull run, that's where Cardano's true potential is. So when you start looking at how high that price can go, it's hard to say for the next bull run, but if it were to get to $8 to $10 on this one, you could conceivably see, somewhere between $50 and $100 in the next one would be achievable. And so in that case, if you say from basically, let's just say it's at $1 now, it's higher than that, but at $1 to $100, that's 100x. So you start working backwards and figuring out how much Cardano you would actually need to be a millionaire. And, the number I would think would be somewhere around, somewhere around 10,000. I think for 10,000, you could probably become a millionaire down the road with Cardano. But it's certainly not going to be during this bull run. So
do you think speed is a factor? How much of a factor do you think the speed of launching these smart contracts of Charles Hoskinson and IOHK and Cardano, staying competitive with Polkadot, who is starting to form their dApp ecosystem now? How much of a factor will that play?
I don't think speed's that important because we're about to go through a bear market, so a lot of these projects are built during the bear market. They come to their final form, if you will, during bear markets. That's where the most work is done because I know you guys can relate to this. I'm exhausted. Like during a bull run, like even as just a YouTuber, like I'm exhausted. Like I can't imagine for all of like, I can't wait until we have a bear market so I can like go on a real vacation and not have to wake up and make videos or, whatever. Like I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. But like, I've had to put off stuff that I really want to do. Like I'm going on a 2-week trip to Alaska. Like can't do it this year. I have to do it next year in the bear market. So I think that, for projects, they're going through the same thing. They're exhausted right now. And so I'm sure they can't even see in front of their face. They're working so hard. So I think once the bear market comes in, they can kind of have a reset and look. And so like, if this were a different part in the cycle, like I think that would matter more. But right now, everything's speculative, right? Like we're not investing in Cardano because we think it's going to be a great platform. You're investing in it because you think it's going to be worth more by the end of this year than when you're putting money in. But I think once we move to the next bull run in 4 years from now, you are going to look, there's going to be more, connectedness, if you will, between the actual use case, the market share of the platform. So because of that, like, I think Cardano, they had the slow roadmap. They're kind of known for that. And it is a little discouraging that they have to keep delaying stuff over and over and over again. But you got to admit, it seems like a pretty smart plan. Like launch it the peak of the last bull run, right? Like launch the coin, the peak of the last bull run, and have it come to its, to where it is now during the peak of this bull run, where it's actually like decentralized and having the governance and smart contracts and all that. Like, it seems like maybe that was the plan the whole time, to really be launching it during the heat of the bull run. So sometimes I think he planned it all. Like, honestly, I think he planned the entire roadmap of Cardano, delays everything to be based upon the peaks of these markets. So I think we'll see the same thing in the next one. And, it's exciting to look at where Cardano and Polkadot are from the perspective of they're both about where Ethereum was in 2018. Towards the end of the year, ecosystem starting to fill up, starting to develop, but it's nowhere near where it's going to be. So it's going to be several more years where we can really judge how big these ecosystems are. And Cardano's got the most engaged community in crypto, so anything they launch is going to do well. They got a lot of launch pads coming out soon. Card Starter, Occam Finance. We're invested in both those projects. Excited to see all the projects launching on Cardano.